learning to play a musical instrument, it takes focus, effort, and lots of practice to learn the rhythms that fit that instrument so that the music you play is actually music that others can bear. The music practice is a form of training of mind, muscles, and nerves so that they line up with the music. The idea of constant practice resembles something that the Apostle Paul wrote in Romans 12. So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you. This reading is from the Message translation. In a more literal translation like the NIV, the wording focuses around the contrast between being transformed and being conformed. Being transformed is something that happens to us from the inside out, while being conformed happens to us from the outside in. Being conformed to our culture takes very little effort on our part because all we have to do is go with the flow of how normal life works. It's like our lives fit into a Jell-O mold, where the mold or the culture dictates how we are formed. Transformation, on the other hand, requires focus, effort, and practice. Inside change is something that the Spirit does within us as we put ourselves in a place of allowing the Spirit to change us. When a group first tries to be missional, all are novices. It's like learning to play a new instrument. To grow in mission requires focus, effort, and practice. And the best place to start is to break the task down into simple steps that can be practiced and practiced and practiced. Yeah, that's right. It's repetition that trains our soul. In other words, we don't learn to be a group that makes a difference by simply doing a Bible study on the topic. We don't just read through the 21 practices of missional community that I write about in my book, Missional Small Groups, and then study them as a group and plow through them and go, wow, I understand this, and then move on to the next book. That kind of thing might give you some new information, but it's like studying music theory without ever actually playing the guitar. We learn to live the rhythms of missional community by doing it, by practicing it. This is how we are transformed. This is how God's Spirit gets involved with our lives and changes us from the inside out. And it doesn't always feel comfortable at first. Usually, this happens as we try to do something new and we struggle with it. We might try to pray in a different way. We might try to connect with one another in different ways and living in community. We might engage people in our community in a different way, and we might struggle and fail at it. But this drives us to our knees before God, and we realize that there's something wrong inside of our heart that we need to change. That's called spirit transformation. This is being transformed from the inside out. This is inside out change. This is the way that God shapes us to become a difference-making group that is on mission with Him. And as we practice and practice and we fall on our face before God and He comes to us and shows us where we need to change and we offer that to Him and He changes us and we become a new kind of people. We become a new kind of community. And that's the journey we are on as we learn to play the music, the rhythms of God's love that flow through us to make a difference in the world.